think before you act. Think about the consequences. Think about the repercussions. Think about your freedom before you and your man them go over there. Because if you and your man them go over there and something gets dropped, even if you didn't really play a major part in it, all of you, the whole of you is going down. Easier said than done. Easier said than done to say, oh yeah, man, just think before you act and that. Get me, man, them ain't impulsive. Get me, man, they not really, definitely do not think about the consequences and the repercussions. Man, they don't think about their freedom when they go over there. It might not even be on a ride, it could just be on a move and that. But moves go wrong. There's been times where man have gone on moves and by accident, he kept me, something gets dropped. Now, it's no longer just a robbery. It's not even a GBH. Now it's a murder. Or, unfortunately, one of the man them might get dropped on the move. I know youths. Yeah? Youths that man's cool with, youths that man's not cool with, have gone on moves and got dropped. So then, me and a man chatting today, talking about this joint enterprise thing. This joint enterprise thing is serious, blood. The judges, the jury, the newspaper articles, the general public, the GP are sick and tired of hearing about youths, man them going over there and dropping something. Literally. You don't need to have the blade. You don't need to have the strap. You just need to be there. If something gets dropped over there, you're doing the same bird. Oh, okay. Congratulations. You might get a couple of years less than the man that pulled the trigger or plugged it in someone's chest. But the whole of you lot is going down. Man, they need to think before they act. There's a new thing. Well, it's new to me. I didn't know that if a certain man from over here go over there and the man them who have gone over there, one of them gets dropped, the man them are going in jail for it. Not, let's say for example, they don't even catch the ops or whatever, or even if they do whatever, you and your man them, you lot are going to get in trouble if one of your people gets dropped on a move, you know. Because the way the courts and the judges and the jury are going to see it was, if you lot stayed in your ends and you didn't go over there, my man, whoever, would still be alive. Now trust me, man avoided certain situations, certain times. Back in the day, man was 17 years old. I remember I was on bail and I must have slapped a pizza man or something. Something stupid. And obviously, get me, I got a couple cases of that. So I bust out. I don't want to get in no more trouble over foolishness and that. So anyway, I stayed in my yard. The man had decided, yeah, 40 man deep. We're going over there to the other side. And I ain't going to say no one's name, but if you're a Tottenham man, or if you're local, you get me, you're Tottenham, Wood Green, Edmonton man, or Enfield man watching this, and you're my age, you're about 30 odd, and you was around 09 to 012, there was someone who is currently about 33, 34 years old who was a known gunman on the other side. The man from my ends, you get me, linked up with our allies and that, and they've gone over to the other side and gone to one estate, and apparently they just see two men running across a bridge, obviously with the opposition. Next thing you know, blam, 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 blam. 6, 7 men come back to the ends, gunshot wounds, blam. Imagine, 40 men have gone over there and they've come back with bullet holes in them, fam. Imagine if someone died, fam, the man then could have got in trouble for that. Yeah, the other youths and that might have bust out and got away with it and that. The man then could have got in trouble for that because the way the judge and the jury and the people there seeing it is, well, if you lot stayed in your ends, no one would have got dropped that day. So this could have been avoided. Yeah, that's the thing. Like I said, it's easier said than done. Like, get me think about the consequences and the repercussions and that. I don't know what's worse. Just flying off the handle and being impulsive. Like, you didn't go out of your way to get into any trouble and that, but you just flew off the handle and you got yourself in trouble. I don't know if that's worse than actually premeditating something. Now, someone could say, well, you're an idiot if you just fly off the handle. It's better to think about a situation and plan it out before you get yourself into trouble. But if you're in front of a judge and you're in front of 12, they're going to say, well, you had the opportunity to not do this, or to not let this situation escalate, or to not premeditate this situation. So I don't know what's worse, just flying off the handle in the heat of the moment or premeditating something. I don't know what's worse in it, but at the end of the day, you're still going to be behind a door and that. And the worst thing is as well, it's like, imagine, you get like an 8-year sentence, for example. You get 8-year sentence, 10-year sentence, you do half, you do 4 or 5 years behind the door. You come out, then the real sentence begins, because now you're on road, fam, and you're scared to go back to jail. Me, I was an idiot. I only went to jail for like 2 months, 8 weeks. I didn't mind going back inside, innit? Dumb you, 18 years old, innit? I could have got recalled easily. But if I got recalled, my sentence was a bit weird. I had concurrent time and that. So I done 2 months inside and then came out, but I was on license for 4 months. But I was still getting into badnesses of that. Fighting man, mashing man up and that. Just even getting involved with civilians and that. And getting involved with previous past beefs. And I ended up getting shanked over it because I punched a man in the face and hung around in the leisure centre. And then 4 or 5 youths come and get me. So it's like I wasn't even thinking about the consequences and the repercussions and that. And if I got recalled, it would only been for 4 months and that. But imagine, like being on license for 4 years, blood. You're going to be walking around on eggshells. You literally have to pick. You can't even pick your situations. You have to literally wait for someone to physically put their hands on you first to defend yourself. There's some situations that you think like, nah, my man violated and that, you get me, nah, fam, you can't even do that. There's man right now who are walking on eggshells. They don't even want to leave their house just in case they get into a madness or whatever. Civilians are the worst. They're the worst, blood. They will fucking provoke you. I know, man, blood. I even got myself into some trouble not too long ago. I ain't going to stand on my soapbox and say, oh, think before you... That's what I say, it's easier said than done. Certain times, man's impulsive and that just fly off the handle. Didn't go out of my way to get involved in no foolishness or nothing like that. But cut the long story short, some little road race situation and that, a man tried to step to me, knocked him out. A man's got out of his car. I antagonized him. Fair enough. I antagonized him. I threw a bottle of hand sanitizer at his car. So obviously a man's going to jump out and knocked him out. Next thing you know, I get it at the time. He started it or whatever. And yeah, cool. But then man's writing statements and that. A man's willing to go to court. What? That's the thing. Like, there's a lot of man out here who, they kick off beef and that. But blood, when it comes down to it, fam, they're in court and they're telling what the story was and that. There's a lot of man, they'll get nicked and that. And boy, they're threatened with 10, 15, 20 years and that. And then they start talking. This is just not worth it, fam. I don't see no benefit from this thing, fam. I would hate to be back on road. I would hate to be shot in, blood. Imagine you're on ends. Imagine I'm back on ends, shot in. I got to worry about the police. I got to worry about cats. Chick running after cats. Oh yeah, tick me, all this ticking nonsense and that. Chasing down cats. You might even get rubbed out by a cat. There's one youth from the other side. He got rubbed out by a cat. Beat him up in his sleep with a hammer. Hid his body in a loft. Go and read about it. You got to worry about youths trying to lick you down. You get me? I've spoken about it before. I ain't going to talk about it too much. But you get me? I was out of town, if you get what I'm saying. And I remember there was some Hackney youths. That man was, you get me, with talking about how they kidnapped some youths from South London and that. Because obviously, them man, they're trying to dominate the area and that, you know how it goes. Long. Even when I was out there was some Stowe youths. They must have, no, there was one youth from Stowe. He got poked up by some Leighton youths and that. Long. He was trapping for them. I don't know what happened. Some politics or something. And he ended up poking him up. It's long, fam. I would hate to be on the road and doing crime, fam. I'm going to stick to my 9 to 5. I'm going to stick to my legit thing, bro. It's too long, fam. It's too long. You end up in a fight with a man, get stabbed in your leg, you're dead. It's long. Met man in jail. said this before, like kind of like my best friend on the wing, who's my neighbour, literally. One Marley you from Woolwich. This was in 011 in ISIS on the H ring. My man hadn't even been given a release date. He just knew the year of release. Imagine that. Imagine your sentence is so far away. They haven't even bothered to give you a release date. They just told you you're gonna get. You just know what year you're gonna get released. You're doing 19 years and that, you know, you're coming out in 2030. Imagine it's 2023 right now. So much has happened. I've achieved so much in that time, and my man has not been able to make no progress. Because when you commit crimes and that, the judges, they don't give a fuck about you. They will have you sitting behind the door for 10, 15, 20 years. They don't care. They don't care. And it's not their job to care. It's your life. You have to make the decisions. Yeah, man needs to just, yeah, man, think. Think, is this situation worth it? And I'm saying like the real sentence starts when you're on license and that. But certain times we have to just pretend that we're on license, especially the man that have been to jail before. We have to pretend that we're on license. Bro, we all got something to lose, especially me. I can't be going out fighting, man, and punching up, man. What if I go to jail for even 3-4 months? Am I going to pay my mortgages and shit like that? And I got to worry, the tenants ain't paying their rent and that. It's so long. Like I said, easier said than done, but man, they need to think, man. Think about your freedom. At the time, it might seem worth it, but trust me, it's not, fam. It's not. How can, fam, how many times I know a man that have been dropped. I know people who have been dropped on road because, what are you watching me for? You're looking at me, fam. You step out on the road, fam, it can happen just like that. I've got into beef before. I had a fight and got knocked out basically outside Emma and Green police station because me and a man was inside the police station. What are you watching me for? You watching me? Right, let's go outside. The youth was tall though. The youth was tall, innit? Like, the youth was tall, you was older than me, innit? You knocked man out still, not gonna lie, fam. Still, man, you get me? I gave it still, innit? You get me? I earned his respect. Come and see him afterwards before, innit? Like, but yeah, easily. There's plenty of man right now, 6 foot under in a pack, just because what you watching, man? You're looking at me. Only take one chest shot, you know, that's it, fam. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, man. Don't do crime. Easier said than done, like I said. But it's like, there's actually other alternatives out here to doing crime and that. You get yourself educated, become electrician, gas engineer, whatever. You could be earning £300 a day. I guarantee you, if most man was earning £300 a day, self-employed obviously, you're not really gonna get £300 a day as a PAYE electrician or gas engineer, unless you're doing some mad hours. You're not getting £300 a day doing a 40-hour week as a gas engineer or electrician. PAYE, no way. But a lot of the man, I guarantee you, if they was earning £300 a day, they wouldn't even be out here on road, shotting and that. Certain man would, but I think a lot of man wouldn't. I think a lot of man would. But the problem is, man, them are too lazy to do the studying, and you get me, just like make the sacrifice and that and be patient. Everyone wants things now, fam. Blood, everything has to, you have to wait sometimes. Yeah, Rome was not built overnight, fam. So, yeah, man, that's basically it for today, man. Yeah, I honestly think if the man them could get, well, everyone can get a trade and that, but if the man them were patient enough and weren't lazy enough, when I say the man them, I don't even just mean man, you get me? I mean just anyone on road, really, because there's plenty of civilians, plenty of people who are good youths and that have never been on road, who couldn't be bothered to complete this course and that. I mean plenty of man. When I go to work at these tenants yards and that, they say to me, yeah, I actually started the electrical course, but I never finished it. That man's talking about he's doing deliveries, blood. Come on, man. I reckon a lot of the man them who are doing whatever they're doing on road, if they had an apprenticeship, if they got an apprenticeship, became a tradesperson, that they wouldn't even be on road. But man them are too lazy. I can't bother to work for this shit wage, blood, £5 an hour and that. Fam, it's got to be done. It's got to be done. I've done it. Now, man sitting on 3 properties and that. Yeah, in the beginning, they don't seem worth it. Don't get it twisted. I was planning on leaving, Yeah, I was thinking, yeah, nah, fuck this home Saharan gay apprenticeship and that. Yeah, I thought about not doing it as well. I even dropped out of electrical studies as well. Mentioned it a couple times in a few videos out of 1,000 videos that man's got on my channel. But yeah, I actually dropped out of the electrical studies. Obviously, getting into foolishness on road, I'm like, yeah, forget the college thing. I thought I even failed the exam. I didn't actually pass it. I just didn't go back to find out. And then came out of jail and then continued with the course and that. So yeah, even if you've dropped out of a course and that, listen, you can continue it and that. Yeah, it's not really a one-way street, fortunately. But yeah, that's it for today, man. Man, then think about the consequences and that. Think about your freedom. It's easier to go and do something to someone and that, but blood, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it. Think about how many times you know, man, that I've done stuff and you think to yourself, was it really worth it? The answer is no, man. The answer is no. Obviously, man for defend themselves. Nah, I will never let no one tell no one, yeah, let a man do this to you. No, wait. But to go over there, fam, it's long. It's long. That's all I can say, man. Stay wise. Done, man.